Hello, everyone. We are pleased and happy to welcome with us the one and only Johanna. Everybody in the industry knows Johanna. You're working in the gaming industry in Africa. If you don't know Johanna, you don't know anybody. Johanna, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We're very, very pleased and happy to have you with us today. We are at FEJA, and we really wanted to have this conversation with you for you to share your experience on who is Johanna, where you come from, and where you're heading. So for everybody that's connected today, can you please introduce yourself and tell us more about who Johanna is?
Sure. I'm going to try to do that in 5 minutes. So I'm Johanna. I'm the founder of Gemerging Consulting. I came into the gaming industry over 7 years ago. Very luckily, I would say, because I was headhunted to be part of a very large company now, which is named Unity. And I worked at Unity until last July. Why I'm here, I guess, and why Siddiq is saying if you don't know Johanna in Africa. So it's because from a very, very early stage when I started working in the gaming industry, I realized two things. I realized the fact, the lack of diversity of content creation, content creator, and the lack of representation in the content of gaming as well. Another thing was that we were able to have an impact on indies developers with the platform. And what I wanted to do is that the same impact was to be given to Middle Eastern and African and the global South, actually, Caribbean, South American game developers. So it was a very, for me, an opportunity for me when, let me give you a short story. I provided educational licenses to one game developer 4 or 5 years ago, and those licenses were chargeable, but I managed to get them free as a trial. And he sent me a picture with a laptop and 15 students with books, with books, learning game development on one big laptop in university. So really, I felt compelled even more to understand the challenges, but as well the opportunity, and to support the community in Africa. So aside from my job, which was to sell, every opportunity that I had to get in touch and to understand and to help as well and to network and to put people in touch, I was doing it. And this is where I am now. And in order to be able to be a little bit more agile and really have that mission, the mission here is to leverage technologies to change people's life. And how are we going to do that? Because as well as at a very early stage, I understand that the gaming community, the game development community could not do it themselves. Yeah. So they needed to have the support of an authority. And what is the best authority in the country is the government or very large corporation. Yeah. So for me, it's important to support the ecosystem building on a governmental level or very large corporations that can and that have the funds to do that from A to Z. Yeah. So yeah, this is it. This is me. Today I'm in Abu Dhabi and working towards this. There will be some announcement within the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. We're really happy to hear about that. And on that topic of helping and supporting the industry, and especially you talked about some of the work that you did within countries and helping and supporting governments. So what are some of the I'll say highlights that you can give us about some of those projects that you did, what you felt worked pretty well, and what was some of the things that you take back from it, and that anybody that's trying to support the gaming industry today in Africa could benefit from?
So I would say that one of the main things which is important is the fact that the government with who I was involved with don't have financial KPIs. That their KPIs say is the people, is that the people need to be upskilled, yeah, in order for the people to be to actually market their skills to local and international businesses, or to actually themselves create their own businesses. And this is where and how I align. There is of course a long-term investment, of course, but that investment is in people. Yeah, it's really an economic development which benefit the community. And this is the definition actually of economic development, is something that's going to benefit the community. So this is where it is important, and this is why I think we align, and there is more and more. I'm sure you heard about Expo Dubai 2020, Dubai Expo 2020, and a lot of those countries are doing that. They are really, and they want to do what they've got to. X 2030, Vision 2030, X 2050, everything is about technology, but not technology on its own, technology with people. Yeah. So this is the change that we see. And by 2100, the African continent will be the only continent that's going to grow. The population will continue to grow. So we have to look beyond today. We have to look to be really looking further, not being short-termist. Yesterday I pushed a post about being short-termist. Really have really have that long-term vision and have that partnership as well on the continent. Yeah.
And talking about vision, from your perspective, having worked at, huge entities such as Unity, and having worked with governments and helping big, entities approach the gaming industry, or supporting, the communities at a very early stage. What do you think, when you take a look from the perspectives of video game developers, where should they stand today, or what can they do to help grow the industries that they're part of?
Last week, I think, yeah, it was last Monday. For me, it was. I said that it was important to get together even more, to have that structure of getting together and understanding what are the challenges of each other, because Africa is 54 countries. Not everyone has got the same challenges, and not everyone has got the same opportunities. I'm very pleased that currently I read that there are some very important conversation ongoing, for example, on the African Game Development website, for example, not website, WhatsApp group. And I'm very pleased. This type of conversation needs to happen. There needs to have regular workshop or roundtable around people from North, East, South, or West, and okay, I need this, or I need that. How can we do? I don't know, Siddiq, if you've read recently the discussion on the group, but you've seen that when someone is asking a question and there are this, and there is this engagement, and everybody's sharing their opinion.
Sharing.
Sharing. that this is what diversity is, and diversity bring you further. We said alone we go fast, but together we go far. And I think this is what is needed. Yeah. The union, the unity in the game industry, and have that body towards and partnership and co-development, etc. There is several ways. This is one of the things. As well, of course, the upskilling, ensuring that we understand everything, have that long-term vision as well. Being a game developer in Africa is not easy, because you have to eat.
Yeah.
I know, but really have that long-term vision anyway, because that long-term vision will make you break down and reverse engineer your plan. When you break down and reverse engineer your plan, you can actually see that by small step you can do something,
Yep.
And have that communication together.
Definitely. I mean, the idea of bringing people together on being able to exchange and share, that's definitely a key thing, which leads us to another thing, where when today you look at some of those game developers that are pretty much at an early stage, that are getting into it, what are some of the advice that you would have for them?
I'm laughing because I was one of the judge for the prejudging panel of the African game co-development market.
Market, yeah.
And sometimes I was telling myself, "Are you being serious?" I was looking at the project, and I was like, "Nah." Like, I was ashamed for them, and I was like, "Okay, really?" So for me, it's important, if you really want to be in the game industry, you have to apply yourself. You have to work every single day. You have to, if you don't know anything, go and ask someone. LinkedIn is there. There is all the platform, Discord, etc. Go and ask someone how to. Someone will help you. Yeah. You can't apply to something with 2 lines when a presentation is requested. And if you're not ready as well, why would you apply? You know that to wait. Everybody wants to go fast, yeah. But sometimes what they have is not ready. It's not even a concept, But you want to apply, and this well on you, because your name and the name of your company, the name of your studio will stay in the people's mind. So I believe that one of the best things to do is to ensure that you are ready. You apply and you talk to people when you are ready, and not when nothing is done. It's just some type of concept. And as well, another thing, sometimes you talk to game developers, they want your advice. And when you say, I'm someone, everybody knows me, yeah? I'm not going to, I'm nice, but I'm going to tell you if it's not good. Yeah.
I'll tell you straight up.
Yeah. So when a developer ask me 3 times if it's good, and I'm telling him it's not good, and still apply to this type of things, for me is like, you don't want to hear, and you don't want to progress, and you don't want to understand where you can make some improvement. So there are a lot of things that needs to be done, and that game developers sometimes needs to understand. On the creation point, on the fact that to know where they're ready, on the business side, if you're good on the technical side, try to, and this is where I was saying about partnership and communication and stuff like that, try to get someone to help you on the business side, and vice versa. Yeah.
Uh, the idea of working hard at your craft, on listening to advices, on making sure you wait for the right time before you apply. I mean, those are definitely key advices that you can give to anyone that's starting in the industry and that's trying to make sure that it gets to the top. So thank you for that. And talking about the industry, what's your take today on where the industry is today? We all agree that the future is bright and there's huge potential in the gaming industry in Africa. One, because the population is growing. Two, the internet is growing. Three, we have a middle class that's growing. But today, what is your take on where are we standing today and what's working today?
So, like everyone, I'm going to give like some data. 180 billions US dollar in 2020. 200 forecasted for 2023 billions. Yeah. So we know that the industry is an industry that's going to be very profitable. That it is an industry that is being at the center of the life of everybody. Even if you don't play games, everything will be in gamification. And as we have seen, game will be a part of metaverse and etc. So whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say, I don't want to be in the metaverse, I don't want to live with that. We have to
It's going to happen.
integrate. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. If you come to Dubai Expo 2020, it's so easy. It's going to happen, and
Insane.
we are just
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we know that the gaming industry is going, in terms of business, is going to grow. There is more and more. I've got Americans company, North American company, asking me about information about the game industry. They're not at all in the game industry, but they want to understand where to invest in the gaming industry. Yeah. So there is a light, a spotlight that is being put on the industry. So what I've seen as well is like there is so much people wanting to get into the gaming industry now, because I see that is like, oh yeah.
It's hot.
Everybody wants to fast track their knowledge of the industry. Everybody wants to fast track. Everybody wants to partner with people, but so we will now need as well. It's like everything. We will now need as well to make sure that we know who we partner with, and we know that nobody's going to try to scam you, and as well be very, very careful, because another thing is for everything ethnic, I would say, there is this demand of diverse content. So make sure that you know who you sign with. Yeah, it's not because you're hungry today that when you're going to sign for 10,000 US dollar, that you will see your whole IP generated in 10 years, 5 million, 6 million, 6 millions, and over, and then you're going to have your eyes to cry. And I'm not telling that just for that, because that happened in the South Asian game industry in Prague.
Yeah.
So we need to take some lesson from that, the community that have grown exponentially in the past, and understand where they made some mistake, and take as well those examples, and be careful. Yeah, be careful with who we're going to partner. I'm talking about partnership, but be careful as well. We need to be really aware. Another thing is talking about diversity and inclusion. That's another topic which is very dear to my heart. It is, and this is something that I was talking earlier with a group that I'm working with about ethics in diversity in the game industry. This is a big problem, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's getting worse. I don't understand. It's getting worse than than good. Yeah, you can read yourself. The things that are in the press, you can read, and there are other things that are here. People come to see me, to tell me. I hear a lot of people are leaving the industry. So the whole attract and retain thing, that will be an attract thing, okay, let's attract diverse talent. But the retain for the inclusiveness is very, very, very hard at the moment. And I'm talking about the global gaming industry. So this is something which is really, really close to my heart. And you were asking me how I see the game industry. On that, I don't know. There is a lot of work, a lot of hammering to be done, a lot of, self introspection. I think is the job of every single one of us, because every single one of us has got biases anyway. Yeah, I've seen some misogyny in Africa. So we need to really be careful about what we think, how we communicate with other, and what how we partner, and about our biases as well, too, because every single of us are responsible to create and to grow that industry to a formidable and an industry that's going to be where people, it's entertainment. It's not there to, you should not have mental health because you work in the game, mental health issue because you work in the gaming industry. Yeah. So
definitely.
So great industry to work in, great industry, profitable, etc. But yeah, make sure to be careful because it's in an industry that's going to grow and is growing. There will be some scammer, I'm sure, and there will be also people there for a quick buck, people that are not expert. So make sure that we know with the partnerships that we have where we go in. And the last thing is make sure that we check ourselves with our biases.
Great. Thank you for that. I mean, on that note, let me insist again on the fact that for whoever is listening, if you don't know Johanna, you don't know anybody. Thank you, Johanna. I really appreciate it. It was great talking to you and getting your feedback on on where what your thoughts are about where the industry is, on learning about your personal experiences, and also hearing your advices on what we should focus on. What should game developers focus on, or what are some of the things that we should try and avoid in this industry? And as you said, there's huge potential in this industry. Africa is definitely gonna benefit from it, but we have to be cautious and we have to move at a pace that is in line
Exactly.
with what's good for us.
Definitely.
Thank you
for having me, Sidi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye, everyone.